In this episode, what do you really need to eat post-workout?
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Welcome everyone to episode 322 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular podcast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. Thanks for joining Everest and K2 so they could flex up on you in your fucking face on a Friday. Episode 322, lit like a tit, and the knowledge nukes are coming. They're coming. The knowledge nukes are coming. Welcome, Crystal. Welcome, everyone that's coming in. Thank you for commenting. Thanks for saying hi. And thank you for sharing the broadcast. Thanks for checking out the Daily Swole podcast every day right here on Facebook at 12 noon Eastern time. Thank you for everyone also that has subscribed to me on YouTube, that's watching on YouTube as well. Say hi to YouTube. Hello. And those of you that listen, hello to all your ears. Just going to fuck your ear holes with all this knowledge today on SoundCloud and iTunes. So if you're just joining me on SoundCloud and iTunes, that's where you can find Papa Swolenormous everywhere. Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube, Facebook, everywhere. Today's episode 322 is what do you need to eat post-workout? What do you need to eat post-workout? Had a lot of questions come in recently on the hashtag AskPapaSwolio. Oh, that's right. If you're going to ask a question live right here in the show or anywhere, use the hashtag AskPapaSwolio and I will get to your questions on my new Papa Swolio Ask Papa Swolio playlist. You guys should check that out if you're not watching on YouTube. Those are great. If you need some quick answers and you want to check the library, there's about 50 or 60 videos already. Just started last week, so check out hashtag AskPapaSwolio. Cool playlist. And today, this episode is what do you need to eat post-workout? Because a lot of you are getting back into the gym. A lot of you are doing the 90-day dash. A lot of you are doing your own whatever, your own workout program. Doesn't really matter what it is because summer is coming and you're trying to refuel after you train. And I've had a few questions about fasted cardio, about whether you should do your eating before you do cardio in the morning, or if you're working out early, should you eat first? And really that comes down to preference. That's not what this episode is talking about, what you're eating before. It depends on what kind of training you're doing, what your schedule is, what you like. Some people just don't like eating before a workout. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I feel sluggish and I know I need to work out later today because if I work out now, I'm going to be exhausted and I need to eat first, let it digest, and then go to the gym. Some people can eat and just go. Some people don't want to eat at all. And sometimes I don't like to eat. I'll go extra hours without eating because I just don't feel like I want to eat before my workout. It's just I go by how I feel. But what do you eat after your workout? And we all know that no matter if you eat before, after, eat like right before, 2 hours before, you fast before, whatever you do with that, the important thing is that you're refueling after. You're giving your body the nutrients that it needs in order to repair, in order to rebuild the muscle. So what do you eat after? Do you eat carbohydrates? Do you eat protein? Do you eat a mixture of both? And how does that work? Well, insulin is an anabolic hormone that's released when you are rebuilding muscle tissue. So you want protein because proteins help give your body the tools, the building blocks, so your body can actually build the fortress. It could build, the fucking castle de muscle, the count of Monte Gaines. And if you are rebuilding, you need the right material. Now, the idea that you need fast digesting carbohydrates, the fact is you need carbs and protein to help rebuild. But do you need sugar? Do you need all these supplements after a workout? And I like to say no nowadays. I used to do the protein shakes. I used to do protein powders. I used to do simple sugars and pretty much pour corn sugar, dextrose into these shakes. And it's really not necessary. And this goes from a lot of the new research that's coming out and also just mostly my personal experience. I like eating food after workout. I don't like going to supplements. I like refueling with fuel. I don't need powdered fuel. I don't need artificial fuel. I don't need fuel that tastes like chocolate. I don't need fuel that tastes like strawberries. I don't need fuel that tastes like a fucking rainbow coming out of a unicorn's asshole. I don't need that stuff. I don't need the marketing that goes along with it. I need fuel. I'm a human being and I need fuel. I am a huge proponent of eating food to repair a human body. You don't need all the fancy stuff. And if you were to do real detailed scientific studies and isolating, you're taking this protein powder and this at this time with these many, highly trained athletes, doesn't make that much of a difference. First off, those studies are super expensive, and that's why they're so far and few between, because people don't fund this shit because it's just too expensive. It's not worth it. So it's easier for them to make irrational claims for their product and leave it, and the government can leave it to the consumer's opinion on whether or not it works for them. Is it bad? I'm not saying the supplements are bad. I'm not saying it's going to kill you. I'm not saying it's going to give you cancer. What I can tell you is that if you were, let's say you're doing a protein powder and it's chocolate. If you do the math and you break down what's on the back and what the supplement facts are, a lot of times you're getting 70 to 80% of what you're scooping is the actual protein. The rest of it is fillers, other sweeteners and stabilizers. So you're still scooping a lot of other excess shit. When you eat chicken, when you eat beef, when you eat eggs, when you eat brown rice, when you eat beans, when you eat food, you're getting that food. And the extra stuff that you're getting with that food are the micronutrients, are fiber, and you're getting a lot of other benefits, and all the vitamins and minerals, all those micronutrients. You're getting a lot of benefits from the excess. You're not getting, the extra fillers to make it taste good because it's a fucking powder. And absolutely, Andrew, supplements, think of the word supplements. We've talked about this before. Supplements are literally in addition to. But still, it's not something that has to be an addition to. If you're really lacking something in your diet, you can look for a quality supplement, but you're still getting something that's not, if you're getting fish oil, it's not the same as getting it from from high quality fish sources. However, it's hard to get high quality omega-3s from actual fish because most of what you get is farmed, and if it's wild, a lot of it's polluted or low quality fish. So not to get too far off topic, you can do your own research on that, and those things are always changing, and we all know that the population size and the ability to produce lower quality foods has increased because of technology. But we are aware more of these things. We're aware more of the lies and the deceit. So that's what social media has done. That's what the ability of social media has done. And I'm not here to give you every single answer every episode. I'm here to open your mind and help you understand that you don't need all these supplements. You don't need all these extra things that you see in a store that's in a container, it's in a box, it's in a powder, it's in a pill. You're not meant to eat powders and pills. And if you think about what's natural and what's unnatural, you don't go in nature and find powders and pills growing on trees, or, a cow doesn't shit and pills come out. You're like, oh, let me take these. These are good for my digestion. You don't get that. You don't get that in nature. I know it's funny, it sounds weird, but it's also true. That also, listen to this, that also does not mean that it's bad. Just because humans can create it and we can manufacture things, it's also because we're smart and we're intelligent, we're creating and we're able to make amazing things. Look at this. I'm talking into 2 freaking screens and I'm broadcast around the world. I mean, it's insane what we can do. So that also doesn't mean that it's bad. It also doesn't mean that's bad, but we are more and more aware of all the bad things that can come from it. We're more aware of what processing can do for foods. In most cases, we know what feeding grain to fish and to cows and to animals that aren't supposed to eat that can do. And think about this. I'll leave you with this, and then I'll close with what I'm talking about with post-workout nutrition. We all say, and we're generally in agreement, that you should not be feeding animals like fish and cows grain because it's not natural for them. Well, what's natural for a human? It's funny how we will say, oh, it's not good to feed grain to cows, or it's not good to feed grain to fish. That's abnormal. That's not natural. Yeah, we're sucking down powders and pills and vitamins and stuff ourselves. It's like, well, what's like, how is that different from what we're doing? We're saying it's bad for those animals, and then we're taking powders and artificial things ourselves. So it's time to look in the mirror. It's time to turn the microscope back on ourselves, and what are we doing post-workout to refuel our body? Are we actually getting fuel? Are we getting fuel? Are we getting things that are going to get stuck in our intestines? Are we going to get things that gum up the system? Are we going to get powders that get stuck? You ever see how your protein powder, if you use it, gets stuck to the side of the cup and everything? What do you think it does inside your stomach? What do you think it does inside your intestines? You're going to have a lot of issues. I'm telling you, you're going to have a lot of issues. You're going to have a lot of issues if you're fucking up and dedicating and depending too much on supplements. You're going to have problems. You should not be depending so much on supplements. If you're doing a lot of supplements, I challenge you to step back and focus more on food, focus more on greens, focus more on whole foods. After your workout, get your protein, eat food. Grab your protein. You don't need to suck down sugar. You don't know. I mean, sometimes I have a little bit of candy. You'll see me eating some Sour Patch Kids. You don't have to go for candy. Eat a sweet potato. When I'm done with a workout, I go right for food. I go for sweet potato. I'll go for vegetables. I don't care so much about fiber. What am I losing? I'm not spiking insulin enough. Am I really losing? Seriously? You're going to believe and let these industries tell you that you're not going to be building enough muscle because I'm not spiking my insulin enough by consuming sugar after a workout? I mean, come on, eat food. Eat food. I'm not saying you have a little bit more of a leeway after a workout, I would say, just because your body's more sensitive to absorbing nutrients. But do you need to eat all these simple sugars right after a workout in order to spike insulin? Is that insulin spike? It's proven you're going to spike your insulin, but does that spike of insulin make a difference to help you synthesize more protein? And I don't believe it does significantly enough to warrant that is the way to do it, especially if you are sensitive to storing body fat. If you're trying to lose weight, if you're trying to cut excess body fat, you should not be doing it. You should not be going down that road. You should be eating whole food. You should be eating smarter. You should be eating more sweet potatoes and more fibrous foods, even after a workout. Just eat real food. I guarantee if you start focusing on eating real food more than your supplements, it's going to change the game for you. You're going to realize how much of a difference you feel in terms of improvement. You're going to realize how little of an extra step forward or a boost that those supplements give you. And you are going to save a shitload of money. You're going to save a shitload of money that can go towards eating and purchasing more quality foods, gym memberships, new footwear that you might need, spending time with your family, going on a vacation, whatever it might be. But you are going to save a lot in terms of your health, in terms of time, and you're going to refocus all that energy that's spent buying other things and what's the best supplement, what's the best thing to take here, what's the best thing here. That energy spent trying to go elsewhere is going to refocus back in the kitchen and on what you need to do on a daily basis to make your changes that you're doing, your changes that you're undergoing, permanent. There's so many quick fixes and supplements that'll get you results, and you can see change pretty quickly. But here's the thing. If you change your diet, if you change your lifestyle habits, if you change all your details, our new program and whatnot, are those changes things that you're going to maintain and keep? Are those changes things you're going to maintain and keep? And you guys are going to hear a little bit more about this because I'm doing a webinar coming on Tuesday. I'm going to tell you more about my webinar that's coming up this coming week. I'm going to be going into exactly what I do. We talk a lot about things here in the Daily Swole. I talk a lot about on YouTube. I talk a lot about my premium group, but literally going to be getting into literally what I do. And I don't have what I have now because I've achieved it. I have what I have now because I have achieved it and I've kept it. And I think most people lose sight of keeping it because they're so hell-bent and, absorbed with just getting it in the first place. So they'll go after it by any means necessary. And then they don't even know afterwards, they think they get it or they grab it, and then they don't realize that they never really paid attention to, can they maintain this and can they keep it? And they crash, they rebound, they fail, they fall out, they lose motivation. They didn't create that framework to continually, to do it consistently for years, to maintain it. I don't want to have it. I want to have it for the rest of my life. I want to keep it. And that's where eating properly after a workout comes into play. You need to create those habits and not go after supplements. You need to be eating food. So eat quality carbohydrates, eat quality protein. Don't worry so much about the ratios, 2-to-1, 3-to-1, 4-to-1. Don't worry about spiking your insulin. Trust me, your insulin is going to spike when you're eating food after workout. I promise you. I promise you. After you're done working out, your body is going to, trust me, your body is going to be releasing insulin without a problem. Your body needs to reabsorb and to rebuild. Your body is itching to fucking release insulin. Just eat your food right after and get back on your nutrition. I guarantee it's going to make a big difference, and I guarantee you're going to save a lot of money and save a lot of stress and get a lot more of that focus right back where it should be on being consistent, eating the right foods, getting all those micronutrients that you don't find in supplements, and it'll keep you more consistent for the long term. Thank you so much for joining me for episode 322 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular podcast in the realm, because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. Thanks for staying for every single one of my knowledge nukes. Thanks for watching me live every day at 12 noon Eastern time right here on Facebook. Thanks for watching on YouTube and listening to the podcast on SoundCloud and iTunes. Remember, to everyone, I think there are some issues with getting their live notifications, and I encourage everyone, make sure that you stay up with your app updates. And, the numbers have been going up more recently. I think Facebook's been releasing a lot of updates. Make sure that you update your Facebook application. If you let that, go by the wayside and you don't download it, you don't update, you might miss some of the live notifications. There might be some glitches that they're fixing. So make sure that you keep your Facebook app updated. And again, thank you for joining me. I'll see everyone tomorrow for episode 323 of the Daily Swole at 1 p.m. Eastern time. About half an hour, I will be live in my premium group for our weekly nutrition talk and Q&A at 1 p.m. If you're interested in signing up for Swolenormous Premium, click the link in the description for a 7-day free trial and to get in before 1 p.m. when we do our nutrition talk. Thanks for joining me. Peace out. Enjoy the rest of your Flex Friday. Get your pump on. Post some pictures, send me something on Snap and Instagram. Let's get yoked.